is Derek Milos. Is it Milos?
Milos, yes, sir.
Milos,
Yeah,
okay.
not Milos.
DIP Coating. Derek and I met through a referral, and you probably heard me talk about him while he was up on my roof painting my house. I was giving him some props a couple of weeks ago, and so I thought we'd try and get him on the air. Actually, probably a little bit longer than a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
been a month or
it's been
so.
month and a half.
So, Derek, thank you for being here, my friend. I really do appreciate it. You are the
welcome.
owner of DIP Coating, which is a local painting company out of Troutman, correct?
Yeah, out of Troutman. Been here 4 years out of Troutman, 5 years in North Carolina, and come from a family of painters business, and from Chicago. Moved here on
I
a
hear a
dream.
little of Chicago. I hear a little bit of that attitude.
Little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. We got better pizza.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
We got good
Bears
pizza.
or Packers? You're close.
Ooh, well, I like the Bears, but the Packers always win.
Okay.
So,
That's true. That's true.
but yeah, it's been good. It's been a good 5 years here in North Carolina. It's been good to me. It's been good to the business, and moved the family here on a dream, little faith.
Really?
And yeah. I mean,
You're one of those guys.
Yeah.
Tell
one of those.
me
guys.
about that, because I moved here on faith.
Well, it was a leap of faith. So
Yeah.
I'll be 43 next month. So 5 years ago, about 37, and 37, 38, and it was getting older in my career, and I've been in this painting business for about just before 2001 when I started. Right around 9/11, actually. That's pretty much when I say I started the business. And we've been looking to get out of Illinois for a long time because the winters are long, taxes are high, and it's not a very big business-friendly state. So North Carolina was on our radar, and it's beautiful, and here we are.
So my father was a district manager for A&P for 37 years. He retired, moved to Atlanta, and started a painting business. And the first thing he said to me, first time I saw him when he started a business, he said, "Son, I've made more money last year painting houses than I ever did working 37 years in A&P as a district manager."
Yeah.
So I know a little something about your business and the industry, right? And I'm curious, did you literally, because your family was in it, always know that was going to be how you were going to make a living? I mean, how did you did you wake up on a Tuesday and say, okay, I'm going to start painting?
No. My dream was to be a meteorologist or a tornado storm chaser. That was my dream as a young man.
You wanted to be a storm chaser.
I wanted to be a storm chaser.
You saw
or
that
a
movie
meteorologist.
Twitzer, and you wanted to be
I want
that.
to be in that tornado.
Okay.
And
that's interesting.
Yeah, big turnaround. But my father started the painting business back in Chicago in the 70s, which my brother took over in the late 80s, and we're 18 years difference with my brother. And as I was,
you were a mistake, no doubt about it.
You know, I was that second child. Yeah, oops, baby. And so we just, I wasn't going anywhere to college. Just wasting my time. And I just said, I'm going to start my career in the family painting business. And at that point, I was in California. My family moved to California, moved back to Chicago to work in the family business, and spent 7 years there, primarily in the industrial and heavy commercial. That's where I cut my teeth in the industry. So had a little falling out in the family business, and these things happen.
Absolutely,
these things happen. And ever since then, I tried to get out of the business, tried to get back into something. By that time, I'm pushing in my late 20s. I don't know, this is where I put my time and my effort.
Right.
I kind of had a little midlife crisis at 27 years old. Like, what am I doing? And couldn't get out of the business. I knew enough people, and I started up a little truck and a dream. And went independent, and I've been independent ever since then for 15 years now, and 5 years here in North Carolina.
So do you have employees here as well?
Yeah, I got right now we got 3 full-time employees.
Okay.
It fluctuates, but right now we are in a growing season. So I have been the technician. I have been the man of many hats, spinning lots of plates.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
And so I'm really trying to get out of that this year, and not be so hands-on.
My father, which is my experience with the painting industry in general. I've got some friends that own one of the largest painting companies in the area. Mm-hmm. They do all the the spec homes and the what do you call those? The one home after another. My mind kind of went blank on that.
spec home, row homes, or, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, track homes.
Track homes,
That's
there
the
you
word I was looking for. I couldn't
Yeah.
get it. I was looking for your help, Chuck. I didn't get it.
Sorry about it.
I'm sorry, I didn't
Chuck,
know.
there's a reason co-hosts are here. Okay.
To read your mind, fill in the gaps.
But the point that I was making is he said that one of the most tricky things for him to do is learn how to price. And he used to do it based on how much time it would take him, right? And he said, as I got better at it, I was getting more jobs because I realized it wasn't taking me as long to do something.
Right.
Is it about time that you do the price? How do you come to that conclusion? Because you and I met because of referral, because there was a number in my head, right, that I wanted for this job, and you happened to hit it.
Right. So, I mean, I second guess myself all the time. I've been doing this for 17 years, 15 independent, or a little more. But I guess for me, at the end of the day, it's time and materials. Sometimes it's a square footage price if I'm doing off of blueprints, but every job's different. You know, I can get a phone call.
Right.
Sometimes people's like, I have this and this, and what do you charge per square foot? And I said, I can give you
Let
a
me just
ballpark.
come out
I
and
need to
look.
come out and give you a free estimate
Right.
because I can't justify being
Right.
too high or being too low. I mean, it's not fair to either of us.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it.
And for you, now that you're a family man, right? When did this job that you've given yourself turn into a business? Did you always see it because of your family background? I'm going to make this a business, or did you start off? You know what? I'm gonna paint so I can make money. Like, when did it mentally become this business for you?
I would say probably, my second child. We have 4 now. So my second child.
Oh man,
about
you
11
busy,
years old.
man.
Yeah, we know how to have fun at Milos' house.
We better get a paintbrush in their hand, man.
We need lots of jobs.
That's right.
And so yeah, probably about that second child when I really dug in more that this is more of a career.
Like, this is it. This is where I'm settling in.
This is where I'm settling in, whether I like it or not. But I do enjoy it. I'd like to see the transformation. I've always liked working with my hands. It's probably the quickest, cheapest, and most economical transformation you can do when you're doing a painting project to your home, business, office, whatever facility that you need the transformation.
So Chuck, this is a guy who I can see running into the exact same problem I ran into, which is he starts to build his business up and then looks back and realize, oh, I need HR. Oh, I need better marketing. Oh, I need somebody in the office. I'm curious, Chuck, do you see yourself, because the modern day business guy, right, has all of these different pieces.
Correct.
You know what I mean? And the old school, and I'm afraid to tell you, buddy, you kind
I'm
of
old
running.
school.
Yeah,
I'm
I
old
know.
school.
But
Yeah.
you got that from your daddy, right?
Right.
You're not my age to be old school, but you got that from your daddy.
I'm stubborn.
So you're right in the middle of that, where there's some things you're going to need to grow. Have you thought about those things? Because the new world is making us, old school people think differently.
Yeah, we got to adapt. We got to transition, and that's where I'm not the keenest on that. And I've fought it for so many years. But actually, this past year, I got a virtual assistant on my side.
Okay.
Heather Cottle, virtual assistant. She's been fantastic. She's doing my social media and plugging a lot of things. We're gonna branch onto some things this year, so that takes a lot of load off me in that aspect. I just upgraded the fleet. Got another fleet vehicle coming in, and have a superintendent that I'm looking at right now to run the field. So. This is the year of transition and growth, I believe.
How do you guys go about finding talent?
Word of mouth, I guess, from the people within. I have hired through agencies, but it's tough out there in the contract trade, especially in the painters. I mean, to be as successful, you made something of a point about making a lot of money in the paint trade, and yes, you can. But you got to be sober and you got to show up. and that's
he says that like that's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to find those people.
Yeah. What would you look back over your years of being in business? What's been, from your perspective, what's been a couple of your highlights?
Well, my highlights have really been being able to be very diverse. I'm able to, what I bring to the table was different with DIP coatings is that we not only do residential painting, but we do commercial and we do light industrial. Since I started off in the industrial side of things, I know things, I've worked in jobs that have done, 50,000 square foot facilities. And the University of Connecticut, I ran a project over there when I was with my family business. So big things that I've done here in Charlotte, we did the Steve Smith Daymark Recovery new location that's right next to Bojangles. Actually, last year I painted that. So we're diverse in a lot of our applications and our knowledge, so we can bring we can do a lot with the little talent that we have, or the little force that we have.
I'm curious, what's a good buyer profile for you, right? What kind of client are you looking for? I mean, I'm sure it's not Joe who wants you to paint 5 windows, right? So
Right.
what kind of client are you looking for to say, if you're interested in this, I can help you?
Yeah, commercial builders. I'm looking for commercial builder contracts, direct to owner to manufacturing, people who are property management and commercial real estate, and regular residential real estate agents. Direct to owner is what I really like to do, but I like to stick into commercial.
So if somebody's listening right now and needs some painting done, how can they reach you?
They can reach me through my website at dipcoatings.com. They can fill out a submit form for a contact request. They can also reach me at the phone number at 980-292-1450.
Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Live in North Carolina. Coming to you from the new Burners Cigar Studio. Premium cigars and exceptional people at Burners in Birkdale Village. Please go by there and tell them Joe sent you, and your first cigar is on me. I did say that. I'm buying the first one. We hope we inspire, inform, and entertain you here at WSIC. This is Local Biz Now. I am Joe Vagnone, where your business matters. My co-host for the entire month is Chuck Cooper. He is the founder of Whitewater Consulting and the author of Unprecedented. And I have a buddy, whether he will accept it or not, Derek Milos, the owner and founder of DIP Coatings. Derek, my friend, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you were up on my home painting my house, and I was talking about you about a month or two ago. One of the things that impressed me about you, the minute I met you, I don't know why, Chuck, tell me if you're wrong, if I'm wrong here. You just trust him.
Sure, he's from Illinois originally. That's why.
Is that what it is? Something about him, I just trusted him. I just like, cool, man, you got the job. Good, do it, right? Something about that. I think it was your credibility and that you were genuine and this is what I can do and this is how I can do it. Period. Done.
Right.
Do you hear that a lot, or is that just Joe saying that?
No, I do hear that quite a bit. I think I just come across honest, and we in the company try to have integrity in what we're doing. We say what we say we're going to do, we do.
Which is so impertinent in the service business, because I don't get that with you understand with everything that I'm
it's a hard quality to find out there.
Sometimes it's just hard to find a contractor that will show up.
Yeah, you have to battle. If you just show up, you might get the job.
Exactly.
It's good for me. It's good
So,
for me.
one of the challenges with a business like yours is that anybody, Joe, right, who not only can't paint, right, doesn't know how to paint, could go get him a truck and a paintbrush and knock on the door and say, let me paint.
Right.
How do you deal with this? Because there are different levels of people that are skilled and capable of doing this. You impressed me as somebody that I didn't know at the time that, yours is third generation, right? But somehow you expressed that in the conversation that we had. Because I have to think you run into these, Joe in a truck competitors all the time, which is a big challenge for service-related businesses.
Yeah, it is. It is a big challenge because you're constantly fighting that price point. They might be lowering the market where it can't be. We're fully insured and, workers' compensation and general liability. So all my clients are protected as well as my workers. And my competition doesn't have that, all the time. So it is tough, but a lot of times, sometimes we come behind them, and I get business because of they're flawed, and they get fired from projects, and I have to clean up their stuff. So that's okay. So that's added benefit.
So somebody heard us talking off the air, and she wanted to thank Wilton for agreeing to take a picture.
Oh,
So
that's got to be my virtual assistant.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
I would think so because
Okay.
she's always working for me all the time.
Okay.
Around the clock. She's wonderful.
Well, then tell her that nobody likes Wilton. She needs to be aware. We're gonna get that
Yeah.
picture
Yeah.
of Derek. He's a handsome man, and we're gonna put it on the book, and we're gonna give it so you guys can call him if you have anything that needs to be done, big or small. Again, buddy, if they wanted to reach you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, they reach me at DIPcoatings, that's with an S.com. Submittal form there, see our work, see what we do. And direct phone number is 980-292-1450.
And you could go to WSIC Facebook, and Julie has put that number on there as
I
well.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie.
So I'm curious. Walk me through you no longer have family members involved in your business.
Correct.
Do you call them and ask their opinion or their advice as you're trying to grow your business?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my father's probably my biggest asset because he's so knowledgeable. He's ran 3 businesses before, and he knows the trades. He's just very business oriented and successful. So I can bounce things off him all the time, and I glean off him. So,
Right.
Absolutely.
Do you see yourself trying to grow the business to a certain level? Because I got a lot of service clients that say, here's what I'm after. 2 trucks, 3 trucks out.
Right.
This is what I'm after. Do you have in your mind's eye like a size that you're comfortable going towards?
No, I think I'd like to maybe. I don't. I don't. I'd kind of just let to see where the wind blows. I'm up for whatever comes my way. I mean, I've quoted some large projects, over $100,000, and that we can take. I know when to say yes and when to say no. If the company does grow, if I am blessed to have 6 trucks out there and 14 crews, then maybe I'll pursue that. But I'm comfortable with having. Right now, if I was to say, I'd say I'm comfortable just having 4 to 6 people.
Right.
Because that's a lot to keep.
Oh, yeah.
It
There's
is.
no doubt about it.
That's a lot to manage.
Well, and I don't ask this of everybody. I ask of a guy like you because I can tell you could manage more, right? I mean, not a lot of the service people that I talk with really get how challenging it is to expand and grow a service business. I can tell based on your background, you could in fact manage more if you wanted to.
Right. And I think there's a fine line. I think at a certain point, you might overstep your bounds. You might grow too much where the margins really aren't there. If you would have just scaled back and stayed at 2 million,
Right.
and you're trying to maybe double that to 4 million, but your liability and everything out there is so great, it's not worth it.
And Chuck, that statement tells me he absolutely gets it.
He gets it.
You're absolutely correct. There really is a number that, and it's kind of hard to tell
Right.
because the economy might give you that number, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You gotta roll with it right now. So that's why I kind of like being under the radar. I can kind of stay under the radar and not have to be such a big guy and be so inflated when times get tough. If there is a recession coming on, I can skate through that.
So, what advice would you give the person that's thinking about starting a plumbing business and a truck, and starting a heating and air conditioning business? What do you give? What advice you give those people that are thinking about it? They're working for somebody else right now, or they're just getting started. What advice would you give them?
I guess look at your boss and look at his life, and do you want that? Do you want those headaches? Do you want to? Do you want to be able to? Are you able to take on that management? Because so many people think that I've had this happen to me. They work for me 5 years and they go off on their own and they don't make it.
Chuck
So
and I were just
they're-
talking about it. Ain't. I make this look easy. It ain't.
It's not easy. It's not easy. So that's my only advice. Other than that, if you think you can do it and you have it, then God bless you. Go for it, and just be a man of integrity. Do what you say you're going to do. Show up, and don't overgrow too quick.
Outside of your dad, do you have any other business coaches or mentors?
Well, he fights
Yeah.
with his brother every now and then, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
I got 3. I know.
You know how it is. Yeah. Unfortunately, no, not that come to mind. I mean, my biggest coach would be my wife.
Okay.
You know, I mean, that's
Fair enough.
she's an ally, you know, and stuck with me through.
Does
through
she
it.
help you in the business at all?
Yeah, she not so much in the books or anything like that, but she is supportive in a lot of ways and gives me insight. Even though she doesn't know the trades and stuff, but she can calm me down or see things, especially within employees, that I can't see. So, and that really does help me a lot.
That's awesome. So we've talked a lot about your business.
Mhm.
So tell us a little bit about your family life.
Family life is
It is
busy
chaos.
fun.
He's
Yeah.
got four
I got
kids
four.
running around nonstop.
One's driving next month or couple months. Gonna be 16, already learning. So that's wild.
Go ahead and
but
give them all a shout out.
Yeah. So we have,
shout
if
them
they're
out.
listening, you know, my wife Rochelle, high school sweethearts, met in junior year. You got married in 2006, so I've known her more than I don't know her. And
I told my wife, you know, I've been living with you longer than I was living with my mama.
it's so funny.
I got it.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
That's right.
I
That's
remember the first time she moved in with me in an apartment. It hit me the day before she came, because she came from California. I was living in Chicago. I said, you know, she's coming, and she's not leaving. She's coming, and she's not leaving. I didn't get that. I'm like, okay. And she hasn't left that. It's been the best thing for me, though. It's been the best thing. But I got my oldest daughter, Kaylin, youngest daughter, Rebecca, 15, 8. She's 7, my youngest daughter. And I have a 11-year-old son, Nathan, and a 9-year-old boy, Evan. And they're all blessings to me. So we have a good time. We go to the beach every year. We just did Dollywood for Christmas this year. We like to travel, heavily involved in our church. You know, Jesus is a big part of our family. He reconciled my marriage. That's a whole nother long story. But
This is a business show.
Yeah,
this is not a counseling show.
but without him, there'd be no business.
Amen.
too.
Amen.
Yeah.
I got you.
But yeah, so it's pretty cool. I married my high school sweetheart. You can write a book about it, and you know, we've gone through so many trials and tribulations that our relationship's really deep because of that.
So I'm curious, how is it packing things up and moving to another city? I meet so many people that do that. It doesn't. You know, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't mind taking a calculated risk, right?
Yeah.
But I've lived in Charlotte, Mecklenburg area for 40, 50 years, right?
Oh, wow.
So for me, this move that you just did, it really does seem scary.
Yeah, it is. It is, because you don't know if you're going to have to go back or what's going to happen. But you know, you live once, and that's what you have to do. You gotta do it. But once we moved, we're never moving again. You know, never moving again.
Okay, my friend, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Derek Milos, DIP Coding. You can get his information on Facebook, WSIC. Facebook, I'm here with Chuck Cooper, founder of Whitewater Consulting. He will be back here next week if I can't convince him otherwise. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to coming back.
You are listening to Local Biz Now, where your business matters. We will see you next week.